Happy March, everybody. This is Stephanie with Apex Languages, who is ready for some more grammar. Today, we're going to talk about prepositions. So we've been talking about nouns. We've talked about the subjects that come before verbs, direct objects which come after verbs, indirect objects which talk about who did something as opposed to what happened. And then there's one last category of nouns. Those are the objects of prepositions. So the boy throws the ball at his father. What is a preposition? Well, a preposition is a word used before a noun to form phrases that modify other components of a sentence, especially verbs, adjectives, and other nouns. There's a couple things I want you to take from this definition. Number one, prepositions are always followed by a noun. Now that can be a regular noun, or it can also include verbal nouns. So verbs that end in ing, they're actually not verbs anymore. They're nouns. By studying, I improve my English. Okay, by studying. That studying is a noun because it has the ing. With to, you use the infinitive, which is another form of verbal noun. So I want to improve my English. To improve. That improve is not technically a verb. It's a bit of a gray area, but it's a verbal noun. Prepositions are always followed one way or another by a noun. Number two, prepositions are always part of a prepositional phrase. They do not exist on their own. Now, you might find a sentence that ends in just a preposition and it doesn't seem to be attached to anything. This is a bit of a controversy. Old school teachers would yell at students and say, never, never, never do this. Those grammatical rules were based on Latin. And English is not Latin. In English, we do end sentences with just a preposition. For example, who did you talk to? Who did you talk to? That being said, to is not really by itself. We understand that the actual correct sentence would be, to whom did you talk? You talked to whom? But because the who needs to be at the beginning in a question, we move it. And that's complicated and we can talk about that later, okay? But just because that preposition sometimes is at the end of at the very end, it's the very last word in the sentence, that does not mean that it's not part of the prepositional phrase. It does not break the rule. Now, for your purposes, when you're writing, I guess try not to do that if it's too confusing. Okay, there are ways, just reword it. You were speaking to whom? Okay, but keep in mind that this idea that prepositions are always part of a prepositional phrase. And the reason for that is number three. What are the prepositions doing? What is their job? Well, their job is to create relationships between different words in the sentence. They're adding information. They're answering the question, who, when, how, among others. Okay, so to whom are you talking? You're talking to whom, right? Who? Well, that one's pretty obvious. I went to sleep at midnight. When? I went to sleep in my bed, hopefully, right? So in my bed, in my house. Okay. I improved my English by studying. How? And so you can combine verbs with nouns, adjectives with nouns, nouns with nouns, okay? Because number one, right, the preposition is always followed by nouns. So you're connecting some sort of noun that's answering this additional information with other parts of the sentence. They're very important. They're very useful. They fill out our sentences and give us details. That being said, they're very small words and they're very confusing. At some point, I would love to do an entire series on the most popular prepositions. It would probably take a whole year. You know, the smaller the word is, the more confusing it can be, the more complicated, the more likely to be irregular. So we'll definitely spend a lot of time talking about prepositions. Here, the important thing is that you have an understanding of what I mean when I say preposition. Here is a list of the top 10 most common ones. So prepositions of, in, to, for, with, on, at, from, by, about. For examples of prepositions in action, let's take another look at our sentence structure. He throws the ball to him. So, like I said, the favorite place for a preposition to be is at the end of the sentence. Okay, to is the preposition, to him is the prepositional phrase. This is an indirect object idea, but the actual syntactic structure is technically a prepositional phrase. You could also say, he throws the ball at him, which has a slightly different meaning. They're not always going to be at the end of the sentence, though. So the father of the boy throws the ball. Here, it comes after the subject. Because we are expanding the noun phrase by adding that additional information. If you put it at the end, it will be connected to ball. It won't be connected to the idea of the father. And so that prepositional phrase needs to be connected to the idea that it is modifying, that it's changing. Now, let's step it up a notch and really practice making our sentences more complex by adding additional information using prepositional phrases. The father of the boy threw the ball. The father of the boy from my class threw the ball. Okay. The father of the boy from my class at the community center threw the ball. As we saw in the past, this is all still one subject. The father of the boy from my class at the community center, that's the subject. That's a big, long noun phrase. The prepositions attach like glue. They become part of that noun phrase because, according to the author, that extra information is necessary for us to understand which father. Maybe there's a big group of fathers and you have to pick out the right one in the crowd. You need all of this information. You need all of these details. If there was commas, then that suggests that the information is optional. But without the commas, this is all essential information. And look, of, noun, from, noun, at, noun. Noun phrases, right? So it doesn't just have to be of boy, it's of the boy. Everything is phrases, phrases on top of phrases on top of phrases. This is how you get complex sentences. But again, they're just puzzle pieces. If you put them together, you can create a whole variety of different sentences. Just remember, the prepositions have to be followed by nouns. Let's look at another sentence. The son threw the ball at his father. The son threw the ball at a sensitive area of his father. So now I took that prepositional phrase and made the prepositional phrase even longer by putting a prepositional phrase inside of a prepositional phrase. Okay, at a sensitive area of his father. The son threw the ball at a sensitive area of his father. Where? In the park. Okay, they don't all have to be related to the same issue. You can give lots of information. At a sensitive area of his father in the park on a Saturday at 3 in the morning. Wait, that doesn't make sense, but you get the idea. Okay. The son threw the ball at a sensitive area of his father in the park with great strength. How did he do it? He's strong. He did it with great strength. The son threw the ball at a sensitive area of his father in the park with great strength on purpose. Okay, that one is saying, again, how, this is saying actually why. Why did he do it? He did it on purpose. So there's almost unlimited ways that you can combine different sentences, create different sentences by using prepositional phrases. Finally, it's your turn to practice. Write your own sentence using as many prepositional phrases as possible. Try to be the teacher. Use on that last one, I used, 5 different prepositional phrases? You can make a sentence that's a page long, okay? Experiment. See what you can do. But I'll leave you to it for now. Thank you as always for watching my videos. Check out more at apexlanguages.com. Have a wonderful day.